Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're the place you come to get the essence of fascinating sources fast.
Today, we're really diving into something intense. It's this philosophy of extreme dedication.
Yeah, an uncompromising work ethic. And it really pushes back against, well, a couple of big cultural trends we see right now.
Exactly. Things like lying flat, or maybe that sort of goblin mode idea. This challenges all of that head on.
That's right. So our mission today is looking at sources from this highly productive couple. We're analyzing their drive, their push for total financial independence, and this really, really strong belief they have that humans are actually made to struggle.
And that's the hook, isn't it? The sources basically kick off saying that chasing total comfort, total ease, it might just be the quickest way to make yourself miserable, which is, counterintuitive.
Definitely flips the script.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Where should we start? Maybe with just the sheer intensity, the work ethic itself. Let's do that. The details we have about one of the partners, sometimes called the lady in the notes, her schedule is just relentless, described as full of vigor, totally immersed.
Yeah, full of vigor feels like an understatement from what I read. It's not just a busy job, is it? It sounds like her day doesn't really have boundaries.
Not really. It involved constant product development, back and forth with companies, revising things, and then this really intense communication part.
Right, the consumer interaction. I saw that note about responding to DMs individually and treating like one comment as if it represents 10 people's views. That's a lot.
It shows the level of detail, the commitment to quality control, and that quality piece is central. They talk about burning the midnight oil a lot.
Which means working until.
Often 3, maybe 4 in the morning. And it's explicitly stated the goal isn't just getting it done, it's making the output the brightest, the absolute best it can be.
Okay, hold on. 3 or 4 a.m.
Right.
Regularly. That just screams burnout to me. Do the sources talk about sustainability, or is it just accepted as the price?
They seem to frame it more as a necessary sacrifice for a specific period, like an intense, focused sprint. And it ties into their ethics, actually.
How so?
Well, with product endorsements, for instance, she insists on testing things herself, being a personal testimony, especially for beauty stuff. She needs to know it's real, that it works, before putting her name to it.
Okay, so the extreme effort is part of validating the quality, making the output trustworthy. It's not just about working hard for its own sake.
Precisely. The core value seems to be excellence first. Yes, she gets paid, they acknowledge that, but the driver is this desire to make the output real, to do the job incredibly well.
Success linked directly to massive effort and super high standards. Makes sense.
It does, and it connects directly to the financial aspect too, but maybe not in the way you'd first think.
Okay, so if excellence is the primary goal, what's the ultimate motivation? What fuels this relentless pace? You mentioned finance.
Yeah, but it's tied into a deeper philosophy. It seems rooted in this powerful rejection of depending on others. There's this mantra quoted, "People truly cannot rely on others. You can only rely on yourself."
Wow, that's quite a statement. So the hard work isn't just for the output. It's about building personal sovereignty, absolute self-reliance.
Exactly. They believe that if you shine because of your own hard work, your own competence, then respect follows naturally. People are drawn to that self-generated value. You don't need to rely on anyone else's approval or resources.
And they gave a pretty stark example of this, didn't they? Something about money within a relationship.
Yeah, a very candid point. It basically suggests that if you're using a partner's money, you lose your agency. You become dependent.
How do they put it? Something like,
The person providing the money implicitly gains control. The source says the dependent person's heart will feel that pressure, that compromise. You end up having to listen, maybe making choices you wouldn't otherwise make.
that really clarifies their stance. It links financial independence directly to personal freedom, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It touches on those philosophical ideas of freedom. Negative freedom, freedom from being controlled or reliant, and positive freedom, the freedom to act on your own will, live authentically.
And earning their own money becomes the key tool to achieve both types of freedom.
That's how they seem to see it. And there's a tactical element, too. They mention wanting to earn significantly now while they have peak energy.
The run hard for 10 years idea. It's a calculated sprint, not a forever plan necessarily. Capitalize on youth and vigor.
Exactly. A limited time, high-intensity push, which, again, puts them directly against the cultural currents they criticize.
Right. This brings us to the big challenge they throw down against lying flat or seeking maximum comfort.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, maybe even controversial. They argue that chasing ease actually violates our fundamental nature.
How do they back that up? Just personal opinion or
They pull from different places. Stoicism gets mentioned, even religious texts, apparently.
Yeah.
The core argument is that humans are made to struggle, made to work, made to be useful.
So struggle isn't something to be avoided. It's essential.
Essential for a meaningful life, in their view. They literally say that if life is too easy, it is so boring. Without that tension, that challenge, purpose just evaporates.
That's a strong claim.
Yeah.
Did they have any personal experience that led them to this, or is it purely philosophical?
Oh, they definitely tested it. There's
Yeah.
this vivid story about a trip they took after having some financial success.
The luxury vacation?
Yeah, Southeast Asia, resorts, beaches, the whole 9 yards, maximum comfort, minimum effort.
How did it go? Paradise found.
Quite the opposite, apparently. After the second fancy getaway like that, they hit a wall. The quote is pretty blunt. They felt so fucking bored and half dead.
Half dead. On a luxury beach.
Yeah.
Wow.
That experience really cemented their belief. It convinced them they needed struggle, work, some kind of friction to feel alive.
So that feeling of being half dead,
Yeah.
what was missing? Was it just boredom or something deeper?
It seems deeper. It ties into this question they pose. Who are the truly saddest people?
And their answer isn't who you might expect.
No, they claim it's often the wealthy heirs, the second or third generation, who've never had to strive for anything themselves. They see them at these beautiful resorts.
Living the dream, supposedly.
Right. But the sources call them the saddest people because they lack purpose. They lack meaningful output. They haven't earned their place, haven't created anything. They're just consuming.
So the misery comes from an existential vacuum. If you don't struggle, don't create, don't contribute, wealth just becomes isolating.
That's the argument. You have to contribute, make something, overcome something. Otherwise, comfort becomes a gilded cage devoid of meaning.
Okay, so we have this intense work ethic fueled by a need for self-reliance and a belief in the value of struggle. Which brings us back to that sustainability question, but maybe on a relationship level. If you're working until 4 a.m., how does that work with a partner? Doesn't that create massive strain?
You'd think so, right? But the sources suggest the opposite. The relationship's strength apparently comes from these shared values.
Shared values.
Yeah.
Meaning they both work like this.
It seems so. They appreciate the seriousness and effort in each other. One partner notes they actually encourage each other to do good work, to maintain those high standards.
So it's not resentment, it's mutual admiration for the hustle.
Kind of, yeah. The balance isn't found by rigidly separating work and life, but by integrating work they both find meaningful.
So the time together,
Yeah.
is it often work-related? Like traveling and filming, as mentioned.
Sometimes, yes. Or it might be intense focus time after a project. But because they're aligned on the purpose of the work, the why behind it, it generates what they call a good energy field instead of friction.
A good energy field. That's an interesting way to put it. So they respect the dedication because it validates their shared sense of self-worth, which comes from the work itself.
Exactly. It's not about clocking off at 5 p.m. The balance comes from being aligned on purpose. The work provides self-worth, making the non-work time they do share feel valuable and affirming because they're on the same page, fundamentally.
They've essentially redefined work-life balance not as a time split, but as a purpose alignment.
That's a great way to summarize it.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here for someone listening? We've explored this powerful argument that maybe true freedom, true fulfillment, isn't about avoiding effort at all.
Right. It suggests maybe it's found in embracing that struggle, demanding excellence from yourself. It really does flip the script on our modern obsession with ease.
And that leaves us with a pretty provocative final thought, doesn't it?
I think so. If we entertain this idea, even just for a moment, this idea rooted in philosophy, backed by their own beach experiment, that maybe we are made to struggle, made to be useful.
Then what?
Well, does our current cultural drive for maximum convenience, minimum effort, does it fundamentally misunderstand what makes us tick? Could it be setting people up, maybe unintentionally, for the exact kind of dissatisfaction and purposelessness this couple escaped?
Are we optimizing for boredom and misery by trying too hard to be comfortable?
That's the uncomfortable question they seem to be asking. Definitely something to mull over as you think about your own goals, your own definition of a good life.
A lot to think about there. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us into these really uncompromising sources today.